performance hits of the 60s and 70s. iRADIO 76, CKiW.
Hi, everybody. John Sarver here, CKiW iRADIO 76. Well, on the line we have today is one of the guests that has been with us for so many years, even in the All Four Gears segment and all the other shows that we've had. An amazing guy, and we can't wait to have him on this time around. Bill Jennings of Lapeer International Dragway. Hiya, Bill.
Hey, how's it going?
Dandy. This is where we want... evidently, you had a pretty eventful summer.
Well, it was different.
So now what we're going to do is, because we get 101 questions. Hey, what's going on with the pier? Hey, didn't Bill sell the track? Hey, didn't Bill buy a 37-foot boat and went to Florida? Hey, didn't Bill get an island? Hey. All right, let's get rid of all the haze and let's go directly to the source, as we do on CKiW iRADIO 76. What the heck happened, Bill?
Well, it is what it is. It's no secret that I've had some financial issues. Having paid for all these lawyers and everything, having to fight to keep the track open isn't cheap.
Yeah.
So I got down where I needed some money, and somebody came to me and was really pushing hard to try to get me to sell it to him, and I decided to move forward and sell it. Just to put all this trust behind me and just move on. But it just didn't work out that way. We had a sale lined up. Purchase agreement, price, all the details worked out. We hammered it out. He wanted to move real fast on it because he wanted to take the track over to have some kind of birthday party that he thought was going to be hundreds of people. And, I think that was the first disappointment to him. So it just kind of went to the wayside. He got to see what operating drag strip's all about, and even though he was just leasing it, pending the soil sample, I think he had some buyer's remorse and made some excuses to back out of the purchase and left me holding the bag. But it is what it is. You get kind of used to it.
Okay, so this is kind of what went on. All of a sudden, Bill Jennings owns the Lapeer International Dragway. This summer, all of a sudden, boom, it was like, hey, guess what? We sold. Yay. Okay, we have a new owner come in. And then, because a lot of people were kind of confused. If he owned it pure out, but he didn't. He just leased it for the 3 months, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I wish I could buy a $8 million business for $45,000. I'd do that every day of the week.
He was paying you $45,000 a month?
No, that was for the whole 3 months. Well, originally we had a purchase agreement, and then he wanted to lease the property while he was getting a soil sample, which is what he told me his lawyer had been really pushing on him to do. After he pushed on me because he wanted to close this deal before his birthday so he could have this big birthday bash at the track. So I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off, getting all this stuff situated and figured out to try to appease him on this and get the deal done. And, like crazy stuff, like I pull into the drag strip and his mom's got my concession stand all gutted, everything from the judge stands out in the parking lot. We hadn't even signed the paperwork yet. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Gutted? What do you mean gutted?
Like everything from the inside of the concession stand was out in the parking lot.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, this is how fast he was moving, how pushy he was trying to get this deal done. So, I'm like, me, my lawyer, his lawyer, all was like, you need to slow down, dude. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of moving pieces to this thing. And he just didn't care. It was all gung ho, wanted to get it done. All he cared about was this birthday party. He wanted to have this big birthday party and have all his friends show out for him at one of UCM's snow prep event. So his motivation was, we had to get this deal done before then. So we did, and of course that was a flop. There was only like 200 people showed up for the thing. But I think that kind of hit him hard. It was like a slap in the face because he expected. He even told me, he told Ryan, he told all these people, oh, there's going to be 2,000 people here. People love me. I got a good reputation, blah, blah, blah. And we only got 200 people here. I think it was a big slap in his face. And I think he realized that he wasn't as important as he thought he was.
Wow.
Yeah. Which, it happens. It is what it is.
So wait a minute.
You can...
You rented out for the summer for $45,000 total for the whole summer.
Well, so we had a purchase agreement. I would never in a million years do this deal unless it was a purchase agreement and he had signed that he was doing this lease, and if he backed out of this purchase agreement, he owed me $50,000, which he has refused to pay as well. And then his lawyer sends my lawyer a letter stating that he wants his lease money back, saying that I was trying to sabotage his ownership of the track. It's like, are you kidding me? I stayed away from the track just to, let him try to do his thing. And then he started telling me he actually had, when I refused to renew his lease, because why would I renew his lease? We have a purchase agreement. I'm selling the property. I'm giving you this property cheap as hell because it was excluding the value of the drag strip. My realtor said the property is worth $2.3 million with just the amenities and the infrastructure. No drag strip, no nothing. So that's what I agreed to sell it to him for.
Wait a minute. Give us that price again.
I agreed to sell him the property for $2.3 million.
Okay, $2.3 million. That's what we heard. All right.
Yeah, and that was the value of the property, the 143 acres, with all the electrical, the buildings, all the pavement, all the infrastructure. That's what it was worth, minus the drag strip. But then, he wants to make this excuse that, there was stuff that wasn't disclosed. Well, who was the one jackass that was trying to get this deal done in 2 weeks? So if there's anything that wasn't disclosed, I don't know what to tell you because I told you everything I know. My lawyers told you everything they knew. The township told you everything they knew. We had multiple meetings back and forth, but he wants to make these excuses how, somehow he was getting screwed. But whatever. It is what it is. It's in the past. It's just like, all the other shitbags. I gotta just, shake it off and keep moving forward.
All right. So now we got that done. We're still reeling on the idea that you could get a drag strip for a couple of months for $45,000. That's wow.
Yeah. Especially since it's my best 3 months of the season I was giving up. That's why I told him he had to give me $50,000 if he backed out of the purchase. But, he did, and he's not, and he's trying to muddy the waters and make it to where it's an expensive case to sue him to where, I'm only going to, because, I'm a man of principle, so fuck it, pardon my language.
Yeah, okay,
it's going to cost me more to sue him than what I'm going to get, but, here we go.
Wait a minute, so now you're going to go back to court? Is that what you're saying? You're going to go back to court?
Yeah, he's making me sue him for the money because he stole. I knocked off $5,000 a month for the. I want $20,000 a month for the lease. I was supposed to be $60,000, but lightning had hit the tower or hit the scoreboards and took out the computer board in the tree.
Yeah.
And the boards and the scoreboards. So I knocked the lease down. I said, well, I told him $20,000. He was like, well, I got to buy these parts. And the sound system needs replaced. I was like, all right, I'll knock it down to $15,000 a month, but I want it all up front. and he agreed to that. He gave me the $45,000. But then when I wouldn't renew his lease, because it states right in the contract that the lease will not be renewable because it's attached to a purchase agreement.
Right.
He took all the boards back that, I knocked that money down for him to buy. Now he's got them posted online for sale.
He took.
He went inside the fixtures and took the computer boards out that run the scoreboards and the tree.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But he also took my cash register from the concession stand, took the barrel pumps for the glue, took the sprayer for the starting line. Yeah.
You're saying that he took the cash registers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
On top of not paying me the $50,000 they owes me.
All right. So you evidently it sounds like you have another chapter on the mini series of Lapeer International Dragway. All right. So go ahead, Bill.
It is what it is.
All right. So now, so now just to clear up with people, and yeah, I know that we're supposed to put that all opinions expressed today is the expressions of our guests and not necessarily CK blah blah. Okay, CKiW iRADIO 76. Yeah. There you go. Anyways, so now take us up to where we're at right now. So you had it. It was leased over the summer. You have it back again. Now what goes on at Lapeer International Dragway?
Well, I'm bringing in some people to do some consulting on how they run their bracket programs to build ours up bigger. Like Brian Ledford up there in Northern. They've got a monster program.
Yeah, they do.
Run that. So he's going to be coming down this year and working with me, consulting with me on building up our sponsorships to, build the payout up, which is, detrimental to the bigger races, and also just kind of some of his insight on, how they run their programs and things like that, just to, see what, not everything works at one track that works at another track, but it's good to have different insights from other tracks, especially when they have programs that work, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Northern does a hell of a job up there. They they don't want for vehicles to drop by. They got it up there. Good. What made you call him of all people? Obviously a very successful guy, but there's all kinds of folks closer by. You hit. You couldn't do. You did well calling them. Well,
they've had legal problems and up there with the track, and I've helped my attorneys have helped them out.
Okay.
Like we've had a relationship since I bought the track pretty much, and me and Brian talk. We actually talk a decent amount, and we we see eye to eye on a lot of things. So
that's cool. Really, everybody that he ran a track, of course, you never hear anything bad. That Northern does run smoothly. You have never heard anything towards the opposite. I think it's a pretty exciting team there. You and he.
Yeah, well, Brian's a good guy and he's knowledgeable. He's been doing this all of his life.
Yeah, I was going to say it comes from good pedigree.
Right. Yeah, so I'd like to get as much input from him as I can, and one thing about this business, it's always changing, always learning. I've got a lot of things that I've done that I wish I would have done differently, and there's one thing is it's never too late to make changes and try something different.
So, what different things are you thinking about trying for Lapeer for 2025?
Well, we're going to be doing a lot more X racing for one. We're doing some different things with the kids. We actually just went went to lunch today, and you know, my thing I bought the track for the kids originally. You know, I mean, I was being stage 4 cancer. I figured I had to do something to give back, and you know, I really had a hard time the first couple of years because we could not get any juniors there to save my life. You know, it was just like, wow, you know, we just couldn't do it. So then, you know, Paul Armstrong, you know, reached out to me. We started talking about this polo wheels racing.
Right, yeah.
And, you know, instead of getting kids to come from other tracks, which is almost impossible to do, we started building kids up from the polo wheels and putting them into juniors. And, you know, I bought a couple cars. They bought a couple cars. People are donating cars. I mean, I think we got 13 now in our program, which they were all bailing because, you know, the treatment they were getting from the other administration, I guess you could say.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's all been corrected now, and we're bringing in. It's gonna be pretty big group now. We're trying to do something with Ugly, which I don't have confirmation with Dennis yet on this. I know they've been back and forth on it, but I did get confirmation with the WDRA that if we do like an every other week thing where all the kids from Lid run with the Ugly kids, and if the Ugly kids come to Lid, you know, Dennis and I can share our points for those kids, and they can still run the points programs and build up, and that'll be twice as many kids at each track, you know, give or take.
Yeah.
But the more kids that are running, the more kids that have friends that are getting interested, and the bigger the program can get for both of us. So, you know, I don't know if that's something that, you know, Ugly's going to want to do or not, but I think it's a good idea. You know, that's kind of the balls in their court on.
Okay.
Either way, just trying different things and trying new stuff to, you know, keep the sport alive.
All right, so you're going to have WDRA is going to be your track for next year also?
Yes.
Okay. And so now we're going to have, I mean, because everybody, including me, goes, okay, so now where do you stand? Are you still for Saturday, Sunday kind of thing? Is there, I don't even want to say, is there light at the end of the tunnel because we said it so many times? You know?
I know, right?
I mean, because folks with cars, you know, who want to do either test or tune or points or something bigger than that, I mean, they're looking at you going, okay, what's next there, Bill?
Well, so we won in Supreme Court. The problem is the neighbors, they filed for reconsideration with the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court shot them down. Well, then there's another time delay for the Supreme Court to get all the documentation back to the Circuit Court. I don't know that that's happened yet, but it should have by now. And then we just wait for the next step. We have a trial coming up, which, you know, it's the thing that they've been trying to pull since the beginning, that the track should be shut down for abandonment because I put a new track in, which has no merit because you can't maintenance a track without tearing it up. You know what I mean? Unless it's been relayered 2 or 3, 4 times.
Yeah,
you've
right.
got to mill it, you got to pour new asphalt, you know. But
all right, so they went back to try to sue you again. Now, stuff from the Supreme Court went back to the Circuit Court, and they should have some kind of that paperwork. I mean, have they filled you in? It's like, look, you know, as soon as the paperwork gets back here to the Circuit Court, you know, we're going to have a hearing, and what's the hearing going to be about? And is this going to be, you know, are you guys looking to open up more than just 2 days a week now? I mean, fill us in.
Well, it's all the process is what it is. You know, it's
How much slower can it get, Bill?
well, aside from a couple of rusty nails in the gears, I don't know.
Ah, man, yeah. All right.
Yeah, so just just got to keep playing the game. You know, it is what it is.
All right, so you open up in 2025, Friday and Saturday. What are you going to do for the guys who want to run it? I mean, are you going to have a points thing? Are you going to have test and tune when you can? You're going to have a full schedule? What you got?
We're about 3/4 of the way done with the schedule now. That was another reason we met today. And it's Saturday and Sunday is what we're still, under that injunction allowed to run. But, that should be, my lawyers are telling me, they told me 5 months about 4 months ago, or about a month ago. So I guess about 4 more months and I should be getting lifted.
So at least you'll be able to hear something. I mean, the county and the city still love you, right? As far as we remember?
Yeah. The township does for sure.
Township, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. So you don't have any other problems with the state, with the township, with the counties, all that stuff. So they're all happy and they love to see you. It's just that one perpetual situation that's constantly there, right?
Well, it's always something, It's I think that people just love to kick somebody when they're down, and it's like blood and water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
We should probably ask you too, because we just got the intern just waved the question. All right, so if all this stuff's going on and the climate that's going on right now with drag strips, I mean, would Lapeer be for sale next year?
if I get this injunction lifted like it's supposed to, then it should start making money again. There'd be no reason to sell.
Okay.
And the only reason that I was even agreeing to sell in the first place, just to get caught up and have some money in the bank and not be stressing to keep the place open. But, I would, if this injunction gets lifted and can actually run without restrictions and actually make a viable income, then, there's no point in, abandoning stuff.
Okay, so if they lift the injunction, that means you can run, what, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and maybe a Wednesday?
Well, if the injunction's lifted, I can run, I can run track rentals to the Big Three Monday through Friday. Whatever. I can run at midnight Friday and Saturday. Be able to do the snowmobile drags that I carve the track out next to the track to do. Be able to have concerts, festivals, weddings.
And that would be if you go into 2025 and it's April and they said, good news, Bill, it's been lifted. Then it's, full steam ahead then with all that stuff. Any chances of a new tower being built by 2035?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
The thing we look forward to the most. I mean, amazing. All right, because we know that all those plans that you had before about, putting suites in the cargo containers and putting in different seating arrangements and all that stuff. I mean, obviously that's all on hold, but it's just conjuncture here, but if they lift the injunction by April, May, we're talking maybe 2026. First get some money in the pocket flowing through, and then here we go with the upgrades, the ones that you always wanted to do.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, I mean, obviously, I'll spend everything I got on this place, so, I care deeply for it. And finishing what I started is a high priority for me. Like I said, the only reason that I was going to sell it in the first place was just so I was so stressed out over money. But,
yeah.
But then when somebody's going to want to just lease it until the money problem isn't a problem anymore, that really kind of defeats the purpose. Especially when I'm taking a bath on it. I mean, I got the 3 busiest months of Lapeer's season. I got $45,000 for it. I mean, come on, that's a kick in the junk.
For all 3 months, right, combined.
for all 3 months combined. Yeah, I mean, I used to make about 200,000 doing them 3 months.
Wow. Whee. Okie dokes. Well, there we go. Yeah, everybody wanted, because it always seems with Lapeer, you're just this close, and then something weird happens, and I do mean weird, but I mean everybody's pulling for you. Everybody's pulling for the Lapeer International Dragway. Something that, or anything that we didn't touch on, Bill, that you want to touch on?
No, just the schedule will be getting released before Christmas, and Ryan Hartsock's my manager right now, and he also does the CKiW track prep.
Good guy.
Yeah, and then I just brought on Christian Worm, which is going to be like a secondary manager, work him into management position just because Ryan still has his prep business.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's been a big change. There's going to be a lot of new faces out there this year. Get back to smiling faces out there, I guess you could say.
Get back to racing. One question too. Next year, what's the chances of your Halloween Spectacular making a return?
Oh yeah, that'll be coming back for sure. Yeah, I couldn't believe that he punted that, man. I was so pissed off.
Well, it's now back with Bill Jennings. Well, actually, when people go, did he buy it back? You never sold it. It was just a lease, right? I mean, you were always, quote unquote, there. I mean, not necessarily a physical presence, but that's your track.
Pretty much everything there was a lot of misguided statements that were out there,
Yeah, we noticed that you were trying to correct some, and that's why we wanted to make sure that we had you on, because being with this story with you for these many years and just being amazed at what goes on, we're always glad to go right to the source and have you tell your side of it, because in that way it doesn't become that telephone game where by the time it gets around to the last person, it's totally different than what actually everything was being said. Way to go, man.
Well, I mean, you've been down there. You've had to go to court with me, so
yeah.
I mean, you know that at least with me, you're getting the truth.
Yeah, and that's kind of the funny thing is, so you kind of wish that some of these things would have been televised, especially the one that we went down in Detroit to that court, because some of the stuff that was being said, it was just amazing. It had no, especially when the other attorney, if I do remember correctly, was like he didn't even know where Lapeer International was.
Right.
It's like, how are you suing about something you don't know? Well, anyways, it doesn't.
Yeah.
That was
you get the gist of it.
that was some crazy times, man. I mean, even when we had to sit down for that deposition and they were asking us questions, it was just, how big is your antenna? It's like, hey, buddy, that's personal, However, it's
Are you supposed to buy me dinner first?
Yeah. If you want an hour of my time, buddy. Yeah, I mean, it's really some of the stuff that's going on with Lapeer International it's so fantastic. If you're not in it directly, you would never ever believe some of the stuff that was going on, and that's why you always have an ear and a open mic with us anytime you want to be here. We think it's a great idea. We're glad, I guess, you're back, and here we go for 2025. We'll be looking for that schedule coming out. Now, is it going to be a full schedule, or is it going to be like last year where they had, they went all the way up to July and then they kind of stopped and then they released another part? Or is this going to be one big one, or?
Well, it's going to be, I mean, right now we're through September on it.
Wow.
That's all again. Yeah, no, there was a couple reasons why that was that way last year, but a lot of it was because the injunction was supposed to get lifted. We thought
the
Supreme Court was going to come back differently, we still won, but not in the way we thought, or this is the way I thought. So I didn't want to put a full schedule out there and then have a different schedule come out. You know, I wanted to put something. I didn't want too much confusion. You know.
Right. Yeah. Well, here we go. Okay, so big people with sportsman racing and people with motorcycles and people with go-go Power Wheels and juniors. Hang on. Stay tuned.
Well, I think we're going to be doing 2 nostalgia races this year. There's going to be some good stuff. We got another drive and drag event coming up. We got the Poho event that, you know, didn't get to happen last year. We got two events for them. There's going to be a decent amount of a lot of the same old stuff and some new stuff.
Wow, and to bring Brian on board as consultant, man, I'm telling you, it sounds like everything, all systems are go.
Well, my blood pressure is not all screwed up like it was a couple years ago. I got a different mindset than I had, and just kind of like, well, you know, I guess I was going to get rid of it, but I guess the universe didn't want that to happen, so I might as well just suck it up and make it right.
Yes, because the universe looks over you, Bill Jennings. You know, God bless, man.
I don't think it a good way.
Good Lord. All righty, Bill. Bill, thanks a lot for being with us. Are you going to be around? You're going to go to PRI? You're going to be at Autorama? What you going to be doing in the winter months?
I'm thinking about PRI. I more than likely will be down at PRI. There's a couple of places down, a couple of things I definitely want to see down there. I don't know for sure.
Well, if you go, let us know. I would be more than happy to catch up with you down there.
Oh, absolutely. I will.
Cool. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Bill, for coming on today. We appreciate it, my good man.
All right, thanks for having me. I'll talk to you.
Thanks, Bill. Bye now. Bill Jennings, the owner of the Lapeer International Dragway. Man, I'm telling you, what a story.